obviously ruffled possibly some commissioners' feathers, as well as community feathers. They want us to get someone to sit in that vacant seat next to Commissioner Freddie. I originally thought that the solution that I put forth was fair, equitable, and heard the voice of the citizens. Obviously, we couldn't come to an accord on that, and now we're almost 8 months past the election, so it's beginning to lose its sheen, shall we say. And the mayor asked someone to kind of compromise or come up with a solution that maybe might work. A citizen, I guess about 6 weeks or 2 months ago, came up with a suggestion. And I thought at that particular time, this is about the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard in my entire life. But I've had a chance to think about it. And what it would enable us to do is to be true to our own selves and vote for the person who we think is the most qualified. So therefore, we don't have to break with our own principles. And I spoke to Manager Fuentes first and asked him if I could speak to Attorney Rubin for him to check with the Municipal League to see if this idea was, number one, legal and would stand the test of time. And Attorney Rubin, could you kind of just, do you want me to say what it is?
Yeah, please get the idea, and then I'll
So
yeah.
basically the idea was presented by someone here that we each take a piece of paper. We each sign our name on that piece of paper so there's no secret balloting. And we put down on that piece of paper the person who we feel is the most qualified to serve out the balance of Commissioner Torres' term, which would be roughly between now and March of 2013. We would put it in a hat or something, and not a commissioner, would pull out one piece of paper, and that person would be the person to fill out the remaining seat. By us agreeing to do that, on the motion that I would like to make, and after Attorney Rubin explains the legality of this, that would be the vote, and that would stand, and it wouldn't be debatable. And then the clerk, City Clerk Penner, would read out and then someone would obviously pull out the piece of paper. And in fairness, in openness, and in transparency, the clerk would then take the other 3 remaining pieces of paper and read the name of the commissioner and the name that they put forth. And I'm hoping that that will allow us to break this deadlock. We could have a commissioner not sworn in tonight, but a commissioner-elect this evening, and we could do the business of the city. I just think we're better with 5 brains than 4 brains. And nothing wrong with the 4 brains that are up here. I'm not patting myself on the shoulder, but that's not the issue. The issue is we just need more diversity, more thought in, and more people. And I think the citizens are just fed up, frankly. So that is my suggestion. Attorney Rubin, could you kind of...
Yeah, and I did check this out, and I think you can do that. The statute is 3-14-9, and we've looked at this several times. It's very simple. It says the city commission shall appoint someone. It doesn't say how you do it. And I think you hit the nail on the head, Commissioner Green. If you're going to do this, you need to vote ahead of time. This is the procedure that we're going to follow, and be really bound by the results. I think if you do that, I think you'd be okay.
So, before I make a motion, Mr. Mayor, if you want to have a discussion, or anyone else want to hop in and chime in, whatever.
Let me open the floor. 2 things. It was a month ago that I made a motion to call for an election, which probably would have put this on the December ballot. I'm sorry that motion didn't pass. I believe that the election is the fairest way to do this. I think that when this was brought up originally 2 meetings ago, it's certainly a legal idea, an interesting idea, but it's offering this choice up to chance. And in that discussion that we had during that meeting, I was convinced that this wasn't the right thing to do. I haven't had any cause to change my mind since then. But I would look forward to any discussion.
Well, if there's no other discussion, just so we can move forward or put this to bed for another period of time, I would like to move that we, by voting for this motion, the commissioner who votes for it, commissioners plural, agree to the following, that we would put a name on a piece of paper that you feel would best serve this city for the balance of Commissioner Torres' term, that would be signed by the commissioner who's putting that person's name on the piece of paper. That would ultimately be read. One name would be, one piece of paper would be drawn, and then the balance names would be read by the city clerk, and passing of the motion will be an acceptance by the commission for the person whose name is drawn will be the person who fills the balance of Commissioner Torres' term. And then we don't have to wait until possibly March, which is another 4 months. And we don't even know what date in March. It might be March 30th for all we know, so it could be 5 months again. So now we're like almost 10 months not filling a position. So that I move that this is my motion to do the names and the draw this evening.
Steve, did you include, I maybe I overlooked, did you include your motion when we just talked about that the commission be bound by, I don't, okay.
Acceptance.
Okay, all right.
So I'd like the mayor to ask if there is a second.
Second. Seeing none, I'd like to see if there are any other suggestions or discussions. I agree with you, Commissioner Freddie, solving this issue